Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Rita Lee's video blog. I'm Airy Sky. Welcome, everyone. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're a comer backer, welcome. Now, I've gotten a lot of emails, a lot of flack from people all over the place asking me how come I haven't been making videos. Well, we have a problem here, and that is right now is a big time for issues. Now, let me tell you the problem we have. That is, what are we going to do? Right. So, we're here today to talk to you about 15 to 20 minutes. That's my video time now. To talk about something that's important. The shipping delays and the fact that shipping containers are getting less and less. We're going to talk mostly about the rumors of the store shelves going empty. I've seen the Seattle Times, the Washington Post, newspapers, the Spokesman Review, other newspapers around the country talking about it. One lady posted the other day about Seattle seaports. I want to shout out to her video. Great video. Now, you got to be calm. As a prepper, people sit there and say, oh my God, what do we do? You don't do anything. Are you going to sit there and basically stand around and be like, oh, I'm good, and then all of a sudden one day you go there? I mean, look, a lot of people have been messaging me as an advocate about the food bank, okay? Now, the food bank is literally basically cut off eggs, okay? They've cut off eggs. They've cut off 70% of protein. They're literally giving you more canned stuff and beans right now, dry beans than anything. Now, you know, if you look at it, Brother Higgins, he'd be like, oh, beans aren't bad. Well, Sister Zoe, bless her heart, knows that the food banks give beans, okay? So technically the thing is, this is why you keep beans. Beans last a long time, okay? Now, a lot of you sit there and you've been wondering what's going on with me and saying, oh, why haven't you done a video? Because I'm advocating. I got my desk set up and I'm basically working over there with my planners. I've been managing budget planning. Now, I want to tell you, when you're basically sitting here, okay, here's what I said, okay? I know Brother Higgins would be like, oh, yeah. You're telling a white lie. You're telling a fib. You're telling a white lie. Yeah, go ahead and whatever. Who cares, right? No one wants to listen to him anyways, okay? Yeah, just saying. It's my channel. He actually asked the other day where the latest video was. Now, I'm poking on Higgins because I can, okay? The Higgins is being poked. Now, we're not here to talk about the Higgins. We're here to talk about how you can survive, okay? Best course of action is use the stores that you use, okay? A lot of people say, oh my God, okay. Like Higgins said the other, oh, well, less is better, okay? So what if, see, I asked Higgins today on an email, okay? Something that was important because I asked Chloe's mom about foods, right? She says, yeah, you're going to have problems with the imports. Without shipping, you don't get coffee. So you better stock up on your coffee. The Higgins didn't realize that one. Did you, Higgs? Or, I am the Higgins. I like bananas, but I can't get bananas because bananas are not from another country. Oh. And before you ask, having a rubber thing in my ear so I can hear better, yeah. So, anyways, where were we? So basically, the bottom line is, for some of you lovely people out there, is, but not limited to, prepping. Now, you guys can sit there and say, oh, well, you got to look at the items you buy, okay? And the items you buy is going to tell you what you need to know and how you're going to about doing things, okay? Now, I don't do these videos that often. When Chloe sees it, she's going to be snapping mad anyways. But the point is, here's the things you got to ask yourself, okay? I want to talk to you guys about everything today. One of the things that irritated me the most, okay, is the fact that a lot of people say, oh, well, you can't do this, can't do that. I'll get to that in a minute. And there's something I want to tell you guys, okay? Now, the Higgins, he's all got his own ideas, okay? He's got all these ideas. And by the way, no manufacturing companies coming back here. If you guys think that, then I got a bridge to sell you to nowhere. Right, because, well, it's a bridge to nowhere. It's not going anywhere, okay? So as a woman, I can clearly tell you that This is what's going on in the world right now. That is, my mama taught me a long time ago that manufacturing was going away. The dodo bird, and it ain't coming back. We are a country that does customer service. We could put in plenty of phone companies, okay? Plenty of phone centers, okay? But guess what? I know Chloe, she used to work as a phone call center. They got good money. But what happened? Well, some American companies only need 6 or 8 of these people to turn around and sell you a bill of sales like a blood lab. So, do you need to do this? And you have the other ones, Manny, from the billing departments. And then the billing departments are getting aggressive. Then you have other issues in this world, okay? Other issues. I gotta order another brush, but anyways, yeah. See, my brush that Sister Pee-wee gave me, the little pink heads are coming off of it. So I put a good lot of time on this brush, Pee-wee, so I humbly thank you again. So the bottom line is you guys sit there and you say, oh, manufacturing's coming back. Well, we'll see. We're already 100 days plus in, okay? I'm not going to belittle the Commander-in-Chief. That's not my job, okay? My job is to tell you as a prepper is to prep. I'm not here to say, oh, wow, you know, There's a lot of people out there that are already doing it, right? You can look at all the left-wing media talking about this. And a lot of them, they're throwing things out there. But at the same time, you see all these people saying, oh, the Democrats are winning. The Democrats. Well, I'm just watching the shit show, okay? But the reason I'm watching it is Sister Pee-wee knows, Sister Zoe knows, and Brother Higgins knows, and others is we have to basically watch and see what happens. Now, prepping is a big thing right now. You guys turn around and you need to prep. And the best way to prep is to play it by ear. We're 100 days in. Stock market's going up. So people say, oh, well, it's balancing out. Not for a lot of the freaking people with their 401ks down the toilet. But I guess some people like the Higgins who's like, oh, well, you know, we ought to think about... Personally, we're not thinking about what the Higgins thinks, okay? What we're thinking about is if people like my mother, who, bless her heart, passed away, literally had her retirement in a 401k. It went up, she was happy. When it went down, so think about it. There's a lot of people that their retirement funds went down the toilet. And people say, oh, well, you're never to invest properly. Really? Okay, cool, whatever. Now, Americans need to realize that manufacturing ain't coming back in this country. Secondly, that there is a few problems, and you guys got to realize, for example, the way to save money, okay, let me grab Chloe's ledger for a second. The Higgins was asking about it. By the way, I actually worked out. Let me show you what I have, okay? All right, so these are ledgers. This is a joint ledger for me and Chloe. These two ledgers here are joint too, but they're mostly mine, okay? The joint ones, now with me, I use red, okay? For Chloe, I use green ink. So green ink is always for Chloe, okay? So for example, all right, let me just show you an example, right? For Chloe, I'm not going to belittle Chloe, all right? $56 for a dinner. Yeah, $56 here. $37 for a beer. You can cut out that all together, right? Mostly. McDonald's, $11 for a breakfast meal. $11. Think about it. What else can we do here? $32 to buy groceries here on the island. Another $20 for beer. Yeah, and then if you go down the list, let's see what else. Oh, here we go. $10 for a bowl of clam chowder. You could cut that up, for example. You see, when you look at your finances, I know Brother Higgins is probably sitting there. There was like lunch here. Chloe spent $16 at the grocery store. $5 for Jack in the Box. The Jack in the Box thing, I will basically say that it was mandatory, and the hot dogs at Costco. But some of the other things we could learn to cut out. That's the thing. A lot of hot dogs here, by the way. A lot of hot dogs. Here's one for you. $20 in a vending machine. Yeah, she got charged 4 times for one purchase. So I don't trust vending machines, for example. But if you look at all these expenses, and if you had a budget book, people, you can basically realize how you can cut things out. Now, here it is, $20 for Taco Del Mar, $20. $20. Oh wait, is that the same amount? Let me look at that. Oh yeah, it is. Coincidence. So it's the same amount for Subway the other day. 2 days ago, Chloe went Subway, right? Subway, yeah. So everything here is literally, tells you right there. Now you guys are probably curious about mine, but mine's less because mine is more prominently holding on to stuff. A lot of you sit there and say, but how? Chloe broke the antenna on the radio. I think this one's hers. No, this one. This radio antenna is being replaced. Costs $50, so Chloe's getting it back. Service, we're going to have it restored. That's why I'm working on it. But I'm proud of Chloe because Chloe literally realizes what we need and only what we need. For example, we bought a vacuum. We got it. Amazon sent us one. It was actually used and broken. Used and broken. Didn't even work. I had to throw it back in a box, send it out the next day. We got a new one coming tomorrow. Chloe gets to put it together. Brand new. Now, let's hope this one works and we don't have any problems, okay? Now, point is, we're only utilizing what we need, okay? Now, the Higgins, he'll be sitting there, oh, but you want or need. Well, let me put it this way. For someone who keeps complaining his computer is 20 years old, is that a want or a need? To me, I was talking to a family member the other day, okay? And I'm sorry I'm picking on the Higgins today, but it's pick on the Higgins day, okay? My family said, isn't a new car a luxury? Isn't a new laptop a luxury? Isn't a new desktop a luxury? Even putting together a new computer a luxury? Isn't having 6 eggs a luxury? Think about it, people. In this day and age, you can't get eggs. The food bank cut off eggs. Stores are getting their egg prices. Costco's not even selling eggs. And yet everything is a luxury item. That's why when people look at me and they say, how much butter do you use? Chloe uses all the unsalted because that's what food bank is. Now the food bank's being told that they're going to be slowly cutting out butter in the next 2 months. Well, at least we're getting salted right now, right? So, think about it. So while you're sitting there, you're like, why are we picking on Higgins? Because we can. Okay. Now, there's a few other things I want to tell you. The radios are really a backup. Even though I pay less money now for it, the radio is less backup. But right now, Verizon, if you see right here, the little X in the corner, that means there's no service. That means this phone too, no service. We have 0 service. Services, not even LTE. Yeah, so I checked out. I have backup phone. So, right here, backup phone. Out. There's another phone somewhere. So there's like 3 flip phones, okay? They're all completely out. And you can sit there and say, but. No buts. They're out. Now, you guys are sitting there, okay? You're sitting there, all right? So a lot of people out there, you got these people, okay, out there, like the Higgins. He says, oh, yeah, you need to send me proof. No, I don't have to send you crap. You see, you got to send me proof. And then I'm not going to watch it anyways because it's tiring and boring. I got better things to do with my life. So, here's the deal. When it comes to prepping, you got to look over the shipping things. And the shipping things are important. But, how are we going to prep? Well, like I said, cut out your expenses. Yeah. I'm sitting at home. Chloe's got my debit card again. It's got to be delivered Monday. Yep. But, point is, it is done. Now, your guys are sitting there going, but Rita. No buts. Let's talk. So, because of the whole problem with the phone service down, and my radio's running T-Mobile, I'm trying to figure out where that other phone went. Anyways, so, brother Higgins, needs to realize that, if we're getting tariffs, okay, a lot of countries may not just do deals with us. We haven't even seen one deal yet from the Dow Jones reports. You have to prep for the worst, okay? When they said, when the receipts come, oh, you have to basically suffer. Yeah, this is what they're telling you. You're going to suffer by not having anything, pretty much. But who am I supposed to tell you this? Why? Think about it. You're turning around and you got to suffer. Yeah? You got Brother Moocher, the Higgins. Oh, well, if you're going to upgrade your computer, I want all the extra parts. Not going to happen, dude. Let me explain what's going on, okay? There is a lot of crap going on in this world, okay? Now, I was talking to my father-in-law the other day, and he literally pointed the finger on video and called me a Trumper. A mother effing Trumper. Look, as a prepper, I believe in the Second Amendment, okay? I believe the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. A lot of you say, oh, well, we need to take it away. That's your opinion. I don't agree. I don't agree where you got to go down by 2027 if there's a country left by then. By the way, when I say that, I say it out of love. Because you guys got all these pennyweights and pansies in Eastern Washington getting ready to pack up and leave because, well, apparently the governor of Washington signed a bill saying that now guns, you have to have a permit to buy a gun. Wow, isn't that infringing on the Second Amendment? But apparently the Supreme Court says, oh, it's okay in blue states. Supposedly, I'm not going to look at that. I already have beef with it, okay? When it ends implemented in 2027, that's why you basically stockpile your weapons as fast as you can now. Now, here's another kicker. You're like, okay, what now? Next is the items you use all the time. Do research. Coffee. Sister Zoe loves her coffee. For example, she couldn't get her coffee. She'd be basically pounding down my door asking for my coffee. I'd be like, here's a can, go away. Honestly, coffee is imported. If there's no shipments coming into the country of coffee, you're screwed. How about Higgins in the morning when he can't get his freshly brewed Java because he goes to the store and it's all been stripped? How about Canada? Canada's not shipping us pulp. What happens when you can't basically wipe your butt? Is the Higgins going to be like, oh yeah, I spent $900 plus plumbing to plumb in a new bidet so I can have it with warm water to wipe my bunghole every time I need to use a toilet paper thing? Yeah, if you got a bidet, good. If you don't have a bidet, oh well, right? Those things are unique, right? They clean the backside for you. Yeah, so anyways, so Canada's deciding not to send us pulp and other things. We don't have enough trees, and with us having 340 million people, I mean, yeah, think about it. We have 340 million people. 340 million people needing to wipe their bunghole, and now we're basically sitting there worried the toilet paper ain't going to come about. You can sit there and say, oh yeah, but we don't have to worry, all that China crap, we'll just bring it over here and manufacture it. If that's what you think, then I got to bridge the cellular to nowhere because it's not going that way. Let me put it to you this way, okay? You got the people like the Higgins going, oh, back in the day, we used to basically make a lot of money back in the day. What happened? Well, let's say Latinos took over a lot of jobs like roofing and construction. I should know. So then what happened? Turns around, people, and that was a helicopter. Turns around people, looked like Coast Guard or something. Anyways, turns around people, and yeah, I mean, you gotta literally look at it from the point of view. I mean, when you sit there and you say, oh, well, you know, we need to have manufacturing. And they're not coming back because, hey, no one's going to spend billions and billions or even trillions of dollars building fucking factories. No one will. This country is a goods and service company. You work for a company, you get paid, you go home. If you don't bring in enough money, you work second or third job. This is what a lot of people do. A lot of people get on the phone. My sister Dinky, my sister Teddy, they were into the phone call business where they help sell and claim adjustments for insurance claims and stuff. Yeah, claim adjusters. Yeah. And yet, it's not that easy. Think about it. It is not that easy. And yet, we're goods and service. And yet, you go and say, oh, well, I'm a redneck hilljack. I need to go to McDonald's, but it's like $25. That's $25 in many states because they want a living wage. Think about it. Are you going to be giving up your job as a farmer to go and flip burgers for $25 an hour? I don't think so. However, with the big problems here, and you're like, oh, well, we don't need that Chinese crap. Okay, let's just put it this way. We cut off China. Now, I know Higgins will be like, oh, that's a great thing. Less is good. Okay, so you're going to be fine, the Higgins, when your computer can't be updated, can't do your Windows 11 upgrade, can't do anything because there's no money. What if, let's just say hypothetically for the Higgins here, Western Digital comes out and says, oh, we got rid of our factories in China, but we're building new factories. It's going to take 3 to 5 years, and we're building in Vietnam. I know Western Digital does, but my Western Digital hard drives, I've had a crap. I told this to the Higgins the other day. I'm not dealing with it. I got Seagate. Now, bottom line is I also like Crucial. The Higgins got me into those. Those SSDs I got, oh my God. The X10s are, I love the new X10s. Now, we're not here talking about it. Now, what if I told you a lot of companies out there are getting out of China and moving things to like South Korea, Japan. But because we alienated, apparently, hypothetically, I don't have the whole reports, I'm not going to belittle the president. We belittled our allies. They're now basically tariffing the crap out of us, hypothetically. So, back in the day, in the 80s, Japan was good. Now, we're going to be the country that's going to be basically have super hyperinflation more likely. And this is why you need to prep now. Think about it. I saw a report recently that Intel and AMD, older processors, are being sucked up because everything that's currently on the market right now is pre-tariffs. Once they get cleared out, there is no more. I mean, the other day, someone asked me about, how come I can't find Amazon selling Legion Go's? Because the Legion Go's currently are sold out. Amazon sold out because they had a sale. They're not getting in it. They're clearing out their electronic warehouse. So when you see deals, you take it, okay? A lot of people say, oh, well, you know, I mean, look at Best Buy, for example, today. This is what sparked me to do this video. Best Buy needs money, so they're sitting there going, Brink, hey, look, you got money? We'll sell you a dirt cheap TV. Now, I know brother, the Higgins is like, oh, it's a want, not a need. I got an old computer screen right there. I thought about putting in a 24 to 32 inch TV right in here and using it as a TV screen for the next 5 to 10. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of doing. So, point taken, right? Yeah. So, gotta ask yourself. Here's a few questions I want to ask you today as a prepper. Are you prepped? Because I keep telling you, are you prepped? Look at the food bank recently. Food bank sent me a list. They cut out 1/4 of my supplies for the week. 1/4. Yeah. Am I complaining? No. What did I do? I had to go and recalibrate things. Now, tomorrow is when I order my ramen, my shampoo, and conditioner for the week. You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Great. Read elite. Yes, but because I still have Chloe over in Mount Vernon for the next 14 days before she comes back here for a month to 5 weeks while I get her into another place. That means I gotta have groceries on hand. So she's bringing me groceries. She's bringing in groceries Monday. There's a little money saved right there. But am I worried? Negative. Am I enjoying it? Well, yeah, the food is good. I put together a Walmart order. She goes and picks it up. Brings it to me, and then it goes into the freezer. I also got lamb coming in because, well, I prepaid lamb. So my freezer will be full of lamb. Why am I telling you this? Because this is what preppers do. Will we go into a Great Depression? Well, that's something I would like to address you all, okay, right here, right now, okay? And I'm sorry if I'm kind of doom and gloom today, but let me explain it to you. Dock workers are getting less jobs right now because there's less containers coming in. Seattle Times had an article. Now you got the dock workers, a lot of them being laid off. And then you have, and this is the thing I don't think that Higgins understands too, or you people is, shipping has gone down. It wasn't like this, loading up trucks. I mean, there's that one guy, I can't remember his name. Josh, that's his name. Shout out to Josh, man. Love your channel, by the way. He's a trucker. He's talking about all these dipshits who voted for what they voted for. I hope you know what you guys voted for, because I think we're in for a long haul and we're all going to suffer. And frankly, this is why I'm here to tell you for the next 3 years and 8.5 months that we better be prepared for what's coming down the pipe, okay? You know, a lot of you people are saying, oh, well, he needs a third term and a fourth term and a ninth term, and I don't know. I'm not getting into the political thing. I'm getting into the point of tariffs are killing people. Food banks getting less and less. Food banks are getting less and less because people don't want to donate. Plus the fact that there's too many people getting laid off. Look at the dock workers. Look at the truckers. Without the dock workers bringing in, without the ships coming over here with our stuff that we buy, that's going to be less stuff. And then, because the dock workers can't bring it in, load it on that, the truckers can't deliver it to their hubs. A lot of truckers deliver it to a train hub, and the train hub takes it across country or things. So, for example, if you need items that are coming from the West Coast, like China, that goes over to the East Coast, so they have a train network. Now, say European and other things from this side comes to the West Coast, from the East Coast, it goes by train, but it's got to go by truck. Less volume right now. Now you can sit there and say, oh, well, you know, I'm the Higgins. We don't need this crap. Okay, you're the Higgins. You don't need the crap. That means you don't need to go invest in a new computer, a new desktop, new laptop, new nothing. You can just sit there at home with your lights running and hope like hell the computer companies don't burn out. By the way, this is where I'm going with this. I'm actually trying to be very caring and compassionate towards you all, including the Higgins, who's on his own railroad track, okay? I may be an advocate, but I'm not fucking stupid here, okay? A lot of you people sit there and say, oh, but, you know, let me put it this way. Apple is now trying to move their distribution out of China and moving into Japan. And Japan's like, oh yeah, cool, we'll just keep tariffing the crap out of people. And then you got South Korea like, oh, we'll take Apple, we'll make Apple. And then Vietnam's like, oh, well, we'll make Apple. And then you got Indonesia going, we'll make Apple. All these people are offering to make Apple for cheaper because apparently these companies are being forced. You think they're going to sit there and make Apple in this country? And then you got the Higgins say, oh, well, you know, our computer chips are whatever. Really, our computer chips, I checked with a family member who gives me computers. Why do you think the Higgins is like, oh, can I get adopted? No, you can't be adopted. Why? Because I said so. Now, they said a lot of the computers are being, a lot of Amazon and stuff, they're sucking them up. They're sucking it up. A lot of people are sucking up. Now, you know, a lot of people put their thing, oh, well, you know, that'll be great. We just got to go through. What happens if, this is what happened with me today, okay, why I'm doing this video. Now, I'm not a bigot, okay. I'm not a bigot. I'm not hypocritical or hypocrite. I've been doing some research, okay. Now, hypothetically, a lot of people out there come to me and say, hey, I can't get these items on Amazon anymore. I can't find them on Target. I can't find them in Newegg. I can't find it on whatever. Walmart's running out. Read my lips. The reason it is because the people are sucking them up, knowing good and well that they might not come back into this country. Yeah, why do you think they're trying to change locations from China? I mean, literally, what if next all the manufacturing's in India and Vietnam? Then what? We're going to tariff the shit out of them, and then they're going to say, oh, well, we're going to go to Japan and South Korea. Eventually, it's got to break somehow. The thing is, they can't just keep making manufacturing plants because the harebrained idea that they're trying to force manufacturing here. It won't happen. The point is, it's not going to happen, and we're going to suffer for it in this country due to the fact that pricing is out of hand. You want to sit there and buy okay, let's put it this way. Let's just say the Higgins says, oh yeah, they brought all the computer companies here. We're going to manufacture. Okay, so one day the Higgins goes in. He's going to build his own computer. He finds out instead of building it for, say, $1,000, his components and everything is now, say, $10,000 because we got to pay a living wage. Are you willing to pay $10,000 for that same computer that you may get in China, Mexico, Vietnam, South Korea? Point is, a lot of these companies, we are a goods and service country. Thing is, we do retail, we do phone calls, we have dental, doctors, etc. But the thing is you got to ask yourself, when is it enough? When is it enough to realize things? You can sit there and say, oh, well, yeah, you're wrong. Okay. They cut off, let's put it to you this way, okay? For some of you idiots out there that think I'm dumber than a bag of hammers and I don't know what I'm talking about. For example, what if one day you wake up and you hear a report on your, let's just say you have a little battery-powered radio, okay? You have no power. You find out that the power plants, hydro, nuclear gets shut down, let's just say, coal, oil, I'm doing a SimCity thing here, solar, microwave, I'm just throwing the microwave in there as a joke too. Fusion, doesn't exist yet, but you get the idea, all these things, right? And you're like, and you hear about all the computers failing because apparently we can't get any computer parts from China or Vietnam or Taiwan or Korea because apparently, hypothetically, too high of a tariff, we're being ripped off by other countries. So they say, okay, so what happens? Our power structure. What happens if the Higgins says, oh, Rita, my food went bad in my fridge. What am I supposed to say to him, huh? Oh, sucks to be you, dude. You didn't believe that there was going to be. This is why you prep. People sit there and they don't see the bigger picture here. It's not just about stuff coming into the stores. I mean, look, if you sit there and say, oh, well, we don't need the Chinese kid stuff. Okay, cut out the Chinese-made kid stuff. Cut out the bicycles. Cut out 2/3 of everything out of Walmart's from China, right? What happens when you go through there and all its food, and yet all people have to buy is food, and then people say, "Oh, okay." Hypothetically, they go in. Let's just say the Higgins. He goes into his stores. He goes shopping with his family, and they go in and they find Sam's Club wiped clean. He's like, oh, what happened? Oh, well, because no one has anything to buy for Chinese crap that they want, they just stocked up on food and toilet paper. So we're closing the store early today. He goes to Walmart. Oh, my God, what happened? Well, sorry, sir. Because we don't have Chinese crap, everyone's buying food. So they're just stockpiling food. So this is another thing you have to take into account as a prepper. What happens if they take the food because nothing else to buy? Then you see the next department collapsing in this country. You said you haven't seen nothing. The market, and they're going to lay off 2/3 the shopping group, right? People say Amazon's going to hire 100,000 people for deliveries. Amazon warehouses are going to be probably 60 to 70% empty because they're not going to get any Chinese-made crap. Things are just going to go down the toilet. You're going to see a lot of these clothing shops and malls going away. Malls will just go implode. You'll be like, oh my God, what do I do? Yeah, and then what happens? You're sitting there going, oh, well, I guess I don't need it. Meanwhile, you got people like businesses going that are trying to stay afloat going, well, that computer failed. Went down to the computer store. Zilch. Then what? Oh, well, we'll build one. Goes out. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any computer parts. We're not allowed to have it because apparently we pissed off too many people. Now we're not allowed to have technology. You go to the store. Oh, my iPhone broke. I need a new one. Sorry, sir. Ma'am, iPhones aren't available. We don't even have it. Well, what is available? Nothing. You see? Then what happens when you have no communication device? No communication device. Your lack of food. You can't get your pulp because we import more pulp than anyone just to make toilet paper. Without our pulp being imported, we don't get toilet paper. There's going to be a run on TP soon. Are you prepared? There's going to be a run on paper towels. Are you prepared? Are you prepared? People sit there and say, oh, Rita, yeah, we're prepared. Really? Are you prepared? The reason people... Let me put it this way, okay? Now, me and the Higgins have been talking off and on about technology, right? We're not going to go into details. I made the joke today about the TV because, well, I thought I'd be funny. But, the Higgins is like, oh, you need to do a video. Well, here it is. Here it is. You think Best Buy isn't hurting? They are. They're like 44 TVs on sale. Because why? Because, well, they need money. So they're having a TV sale. Think about it. They can ship up to 55-inch to your door. They're cheap. But do you need one? Eventually, you're not going to need it. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, it'll get better. You think so? Do you think so? Here's what's going to happen. The dock workers, they're going to be laid off. The truckers, a lot of them are going to be laid off. What's left is the backbone. Now, without dock workers and without stuff, your souvenir shops for summer times not going to have anything. Then, your supplies that are ordered right now is planned for Christmas ain't going to happen. Then what happens when you don't have these items? Think about it. Thank God Chloe prepays Christmas every year. She's brilliant. Thanks, Chloe. Then you have the rest of you people. With the collapse of these two sectors, that means you're going to see more problems. And with lack of stuff, you say, oh, well, it doesn't affect me. Really? Okay, let's just say you don't buy Chinese-made crap. But one day you're sitting there, right, and you go into a place, right? And you go in, right, and you're like, okay, I need to buy this. I need new tires. A lot of tires are imported now. Did you know a lot of tires are made in China? What happens if you wake up one morning and you can't get your tires or your car parts? You're sitting there, your car's on the side of the road. You might as well just sell it for parts. Have these. Eventually, you're going to see the junk cards only having frames left because they're going to be picking parts away. We're going to be like the country that's just going to be basically barely surviving by basically picking the parts. Think about it. You don't see it, but if you don't have shipments from China coming in and you have all these things, eventually it's going to be like this. Now, here's the other kicker. Me and Chloe, we look at pricing all the time, okay? We do. We do a lot of pricing. But as a prepper, you got to ask yourself, what happens if the Higgins goes into his Walmart and his Sam's Club and it's empty? He's like, oh my God, I can't buy anything. Then he goes, oh, well, I think I'll buy a brand new car. Let's just say hypothetically. Goes to the car dealership. No one's working. Cars are on the lot collecting rust. Why? No one's buying a new car because they can't afford it. The auto industry goes. Then you got these guys that get laid off from the auto industry. Then you say, oh, well, I'll go buy a motorhome. All of a sudden you go there and you look. RV dealerships closed. Motorhomes not being made. Why? Because no one can afford them. Then what? So you got, oh well, the people sucking up only the food, because the food and other things, like maybe they can get some paper, but paper is needed, and pulps need to make toilet paper and paper products. Can't make paper, you don't get printer paper. You don't get writing paper. Then what? A lot of pens that I buy are made in Japan. Well, Japan says, no, we're not sending you pens. You can go buy no pens. Eventually, you're going to see the market's so dried that everything's going to be a luxury item. I mean, think about it. Has anyone ever thought that a lot of people aren't buying anything right now because they don't know how volatile the market is? They're literally living one day to the next, stockpiling and waiting to see what happens. You got three different scenarios. You got scenario one where you got all these fucking people like, we need a king, give us King Trump. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, they don't mind if they're eating dirt sandwiches the rest of their life. You got, by the way, I did see a report today. This I will address at the end of the video, I think, for a second, about the elderly and disabled. So pay attention on that. Anyways, so then you got scenario two. We get a Democrat in 2028 or 2029, and we have to rebuild everything. Maybe 2026, but I'm not holding my breath, okay? And yet, some of you don't want it. So you don't care if you don't have computers. You don't care if you don't have anything, because you want to be in solidarity. So while the rest of the world's living high off the hog of stuff that we would buy, you guys are suffering with nothing. Think about it. And the price of goods will go up. You will basically be seeing them raising the price on food. Think about it. You go to the store and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get some eggs, and it's $40 because of it. Or, remember I said they cut out the truckers and the dock workers. Now, has anyone realized that UPS and FedEx canned over 20,000 people? Think about it. 20,000 union workers. Then you got the 250 to 500,000 government employees. They're like, oh, we don't need a big bloated government. Okay, cool. That's 500,000 jobs there. 500,000 on unemployment. Plus the 20,000 unemployment. Then plus this, plus that. The system's going to crack. Are you prepared for the system cracking? I mean, think about it. Without people repairing things, what if they can't get the parts to repair their jet printers or inkjet printers or laser printers or computers? Then what? What are you going to do then? You're going to stand around and be like, oh, it's okay. What if you sit there and you love bananas? And one day they say, we're sorry, we can't give you bananas because there's not enough bananas to go around because the country's not getting bananas anymore. Are you going to live with, oh, well, that's okay. Less is great. Then what if you turn around one day and you go into the store and you're walking around and you're like, got your little shopping cart, bread's taken, grain's taken. Oh, by the way, we may see a bread shortage soon and a rice shortage and a grain shortage. We import all that. How much stuff do you see that we don't import? This is stuff on the food side that's going to basically be cut down soon enough. Think about it. When it ends, you're all screwed. I mean, there's going to be a grain shortage. We import a lot of our grain from Europe. What happens if we don't get grain? What if we can't get rice from Asia? You're going to sit there and be like, oh, well, that's okay. Less is more. I mean, eventually, our collapse will happen because you can't buy anything and everyone's going to be using what money they have for groceries and other things. Eventually, it's going to get narrower and narrower to the point of you won't have a new phone. You won't have a new computer. You won't have a new TV. You won't have anything. And yet you people sit there and say, oh, well, it's not going to get that bad. The leftists are saying this. Well, maybe, but right now the supply ports and all in the on the West Coast pretty much shut down. They're not getting much delivered in. Eventually, China's going to completely cut it. I heard rumors we've already lost we already lost and we got our last shipments in. So unless we make a deal with China, you guys are going to see less and less is more. And you're going to start to learn that what you have, you're going to have to make do until we get out of this mess. I mean, think about it. When you see food shortages and stuff, I mean, people are buying it. People sit there and say, oh, well, you can buy this and you can buy that, right? Yeah, but I talked to a guy the other day. He says within the next 3 to 6 months, hypothetically, all the custom-built computers from these places, me and Higgins was talking about this. I mean, computers in general, not, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about, the brands. They're going to be out. The guy literally stated it because I was talking to him. They're going to be out. And they're only going to be out because a lot of people are doing their purchases now because they have to wait it out. Because once the parts are out, what do you think people are looking? Why do you think Amazon's sitting there going, hey, I got this Ryzen 9 computer. We'll give it to you for $1,200. It's only $1,200. People are buying older models, brand new in the box. They're being sucked up like hotcakes. The newer ones, they're sucking them up too. I just saw a new deal for one for like $640. And Chloe's like, I want it. And I'm like, okay. Fortunately, you got to look at the processes. What happens if you and the Higgins are like, oh, you're being a hypocrite. No, I'm not. I'm making a point here. Point is you got to look at the manufacturers. They may give you a great deal now, but are you willing to take that deal and hope like hell you can survive? There's a lot of stupid people out there that don't think anything's going to happen. And then when they lose their job, they're like, oh, yeah, it's Biden's fault. It's all Biden's fault. It's all Biden's fault. I mean, look, I heard the other day, I think it was the Higgins saying this and my sister saying it. They were concerned about pharmacy and tariffs. Soon, what if you go to the pharmacy and they're like, oh, yeah, wait, there's tariffs. You got to pay a $350 extra cost to your meds. I mean, literally, the thing is, I've heard the Medicaid department's going to gut out the medical part of medicine. If you can't afford it, go ahead and rot and die somewhere is what they say. Rot and die. Rot and die. Think about it. The American people need to realize that the pricing is going to get out. I had a friend of mine say this the other day. They were worried about the medications too. I mean, literally, we're in an area where there's dumb people out there that think that that everything is great and the world is, a lot of people aren't buying gas either. The gasoline has gone down, or gone up because no one's driving their cars, what I mean. I mean, look at it from a fuel point of view. I mean, literally, they're saying that every store in America will not have anything on it, whether it be Chinese-made goods for home decor, coffee pots, anything. I was looking for sausages the other day, and I couldn't believe how many sausage brands were sold out at Walmart. I order my stuff online, so I'm very careful. But you get the point. Think about it. By the way, I had sausage and eggs for breakfast this morning. I don't usually eat breakfast, but think about it. All these items that Amazon's selling, and then you see these people, and they're sitting there, and I seen the numbers, and they had a special recently, a sale. No one was buying. They had a sale for like 10 days on this one gaming rig, right? No one would buy. So I asked the company about it. They said, it's the economy. People are penny pinching. Literally. But you got these idiots that are like, oh yeah, everything's great. Yeah, until you can't get anything. I mean, literally. What happens if you can't get anything? I mean, literally. A friend of mine said, when the thing starts being sucked up by these people, they're going to be sucking up everything that's not nailed down. You're going to see food banks being running out of stuff. You're going to see grocery stores out of stuff. I mean, I tried to explain to the Higgins today, the fruits and vegetables. What if you go to the store and you're looking for fruits and vegetables and 99% of them are imported, and you see the fruits and vegetable aisle empty? What are you going to do? Oh, well, I'll just go get some American stuff. Then you find out, and you ask them, hey, I want to get some Campbell's soup, but I can't. Oh, yeah, well, a lot of the ingredients are imported. And then they just throw it in a giant cooking pot. They're at the factory manufacturing and can it up. What's that tell you, friends? You sit there and you realize, oh crap, we're in a real problem. Why do you think they're saying stores will collapse in 2 to 4 weeks? Why do you think I had to get off my lazy butt, drop my coffee, and get on here to talk about it? Coffee's another thing I love. Even Sister Zoe knows you can't take away the coffee. Yeah, I mean, think about it. The world is going to be hurting soon. I mean, literally. People say, oh, the economy is going to be great. Yeah, well, last time I heard, there's not many tourists on this island. Chloe said that tourists are basically far and few. Why? Because of all the problems. People are being laid off. What if one day, I mean, what if, a lot of you, I need to wrap this up, so let me just put it this way, okay? The thing I'm going to talk about right now is you got to basically prep. That's it. You got to prep for everything. We're talking about store closures, store supplies, supply chains running out. But a lot of people say, oh, yeah, well, we're going to give hell if they touch our Social Security. They don't have to touch it. They can let it run out of money, and then you're fucked. And if that's not the case, people, then they could turn around. And if they don't let it run out of money, they always kick the can for the last 40 years. They could turn around and break it. What if the next week they turn around and fired another 20,000 Social Security employees, and then they decide to fire all the ALJs, right? Hypothetically, and then you're sitting all the people waiting for the benefits. The ALJs have been fired, and then it's got to go through the courts, and then you're delayed. And I mean, it could happen. Or what if you're sitting there, right, and you're like, okay, everything's great. And all of a sudden you wake up one morning, you're on SSI, you're on SSDI, you're on SSR, retirement, you're on Social Security Survivors, SSDI, and all of a sudden the Treasury Department's computers aren't working, right? I mean, a lot of people are afraid. They already tampered with the source codes from COBOL. I mean, there's people out there trying to fix it right now. But get this. If you keep screwing up, what's going to happen with the payments? I mean, there's 60 million lines of code, apparently, over the years in Cobalt. 60 million. They've never missed a payment or missed a check. Now, people are worried about it. Every day they're worried about it. This is why you need to basically take a step back and prep. And you sit there and you don't worry about, a new car because you can't afford it. Or a new computer. You can't afford it. I mean, eventually people are sitting there and they won't have any. Eventually you're going to see things happen that you've never seen in your entire lifetime as an American. You're going to sit there and you're going to say, oh, well, I'm going to go and build my computer because I'm a great builder. Then you're going to find out your parts are 500 times more because they're imported. And then you're going to be bitching about it. Or you're going to sit there and say, I'm going to buy a new car. My car's 40 years old. You find out no one's working at the dealership. The cars are collecting rust. People may break into them, take joyrides, hot wire them, drive them off the lot. But if the police department is been fired or not getting enough money, then what? Then they're going to have to train every country. They're going to have to train and draft people to be in the military for all 50 states just so they could guard the automobile the dealerships or the RV dealerships, because, I mean, think of it this way. If the RV dealerships failed, there's going to be a lot of people freeloading if they lost their jobs, thinking about the RV dealership as good picking, easy pickings for trailers. The police may arrest a few of you for stealing trailers, but the rest of you could either be living on the trailer, in the trailers, in the RV dealership, or if you have a truck, you just boost it and leave. I mean, think about it. There's going to be things that we've never seen in our lifetime that could happen. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, think about it. You're going to see more people having Hoovervilles, or people are calling Trumpville. You may even see martial law. You may even see martial law. You may see people being deported. Americans, maybe. Thing is, I see all this, but you got to hypothetically look around. Now, think about it. Let me put it to you again before I leave today. You cut Social Security off. There's going to be enough fucking pissed off people out there that they will try to march to the White House probably and take it back and drag the son of a bitch out because they need to get paid. That's when he can use martial law. Think about it. This is what they're trying to plan out carefully. If they give you 3 more months of checks, I mean, look, they want this big, beautiful bill. Okay, so they're going to cut your... See, I told this to a lot of people the other day. People said to me, I was at a group recently, and they asked me about what happens if store runs out of stuff, right? Because I'm an advocate, I go hang out at these places, and they offer me dinner, and we do groups and sessions, and I don't take the food. They're like, why don't you eat? Because I let other people have it. I have food at home. My here is to socialize and get the feel so I can report it to my senator and my Congress people that I'm actually... So, yeah, that's all I need to tell you. So, and that's why a lot of advocate people come to me, because they know I have connections here, here, and here, and I got direct lines from here, here, and here, which means all I got to do is go through this assistant, that assistant, or this assistant, and I get directly all the way up the line chain to even the senator or Congress people. Yeah, but that's because we're basically an island, and on the island there's a lot of vulnerable people, and the island is like the most expensive, most likely on the in the entire state. So the senators and Congress have to literally listen to people like me to relay the messages that are complaining. A lot of people are worried about their supply and demand. Groceries, food, shampoo, conditioners. I mean, when you run out, that's it. When Amazon runs out, you are screwed. Now you're sitting there saying, oh, well, what else are we going to talk about? Well, here's the last part. You see, a lot of people out there say, oh, well, it won't happen. Well, a lot of constituents are getting up there and basically telling their senator, Congress, you're going to be voted out or primaried if you basically touch Medicaid. You know what? I've seen a lot of people out there being cut off Medicaid for the most stupidest stuff. Literally, pot use, booze use, other use, just lack of money. The thing is they want to cut your Medicaid to fund, apparently, tax cuts. Are you cool with it? I mean, literally. So the big corporations get the tax cuts, but the big corporations are also laying off people. So what happens if the big corporations lay off people? And the tax cuts applied. So let's just say all these people in Hooverville. Oh, by the way, if you lay off everyone at the USDA or close to it, then you can't initialize the food stamp program. There's one way that they could cut it right then and there. Not that I'm giving ideas. They can cut the HHS and cut the Medicaid division. Then what happens? There's no Medicaid, but they're just going to have Congress cut it for that. You see? So when you look at the big picture here, what do you see? Are you prepped? Because frankly, you better be, because we're not out of the woods yet. And I don't like doing these videos. They're long, they're tiring, they're boring. And but people are saying to me, what do we do? Simple. You better keep an eye on things. And before I finish, why do you think Amazon and other companies are selling older computers, like brand new computers, 2022, 2023 in the boxes, brand new desktops? Because a lot of people are looking to stock up on their computers that can run things. Might not be what they want, but at least it does the damn job for $600 or $700 or $500 or whatnot. I remember the old days where you could buy a bare bones system and put it together yourself. I've not seen those in a long time. Now, I'm not going to even ask for an email from the Higgins on that one, okay? But we're not here to talk about computers. We're here to say, look, eventually power plants, other things, every company in this country uses computers. If we don't have access to computers, the computers will be sucked up really quickly too. That was my point. Cell phones, same thing. Soon you're going to see people refurbishing it or not even using the damn things, because a lot of technology will be out of our reach because of other issues. Yeah. And so, point is, think about it. That's what I want to say. I mean, will we be out of the woods? I don't know. Walk lightly, carry a big stick. And think about it. There's ways that they could cut your benefits. They could. And they want to. Then there's ways that they want to terminate so many people. Even if you terminate 100 million jobs, it doesn't bring back factories. It just means you got 100 million people homeless. Yeah, think about it. Eventually, every one of us will end up on the streets or in the ground or somewhere else. So, think about it. In the meantime, I want you to think. I want you to use your noodle. I want you to prep. And I want you to try to cut out your expenses. We're not out of the woods yet. If you dream of something, leave it as a dream. Because this is the time where people need to realize the receipts are there. A lot of people said we will be suffering for this next 4 years. Yeah. Mr. Musk said it himself recently. Donald Trump reiterated it. Most of his cabinet did. I'm just saying, are you ready? Are you prepped? Are you ready to go? Because frankly, in the meantime, think about it. I gotta go. I may do a Sunday edition too today or tomorrow, but my Sunday's edition may be about something else. Hell, I may just do another video after this, quick one. But anyways, I hope that helps you out. I still got to think about what the topic's going to be or how to put this together for upload. This is unedited, just my ramblings, but I hope you like it. And I hope you understand that eventually you're going to see the collapse of the U.S. if we don't get these tariffs under control, and our grocery stores will run out. Because if there's nothing to buy, people will start buying food and stockpiling it. Then the Higgins, the elderly, they won't have anything to buy. They may just rot around a corner and die because they don't have anything to buy. What if pharmacies run out of stuff too? Think about it. You got to ask yourself all these questions. I want you to ponder it today. That's your homework. Ponder it. Think about it. Give me a comment down below. Please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestion. Hit the like, subscribe. It's wholesome fun for your dogs, your cats, your bunnies, your service dogs, your service bunnies. Hit the like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.